pull out my little dollar store fan. Thank you very much. You know, application of makeup. And if I say one more time, I will literally. Hi there. How are you? Hope you're having a wonderful day today. If you just happen to stumble across my channel, welcome. My name is Nancy. Come on in, join us in this tutorial where I will be putting on a full face of makeup using drugstore products only. These are products that I have been loving. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be using affordable drugstore products that sometimes are even more amazing than those high ends. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then just keep on watching. Now, if you know me, you know that for primer, I always use two things. I use one that just kind of brings hydration to the skin, possibly some glow, and then I use a second primer to just pore fill in this area here. So one that I just discovered over the summer, and it was Jessica Braun who I heard talk about, is this one from Milani. This one has SPF 15, and I love this one because it has a citrusy scent. Looks like this, but it gives the skin like this nice feeling of like hydration. And I love that you can, kind of two steps in one, prime the skin and protect it at the same time. Even though I already applied my regular sunscreen, I don't rely on just products like this. I always use my separate SPF after my skincare. As always, the very last step. Now, one that is not new to me that I've been loving for quite a few years now is this Pore Filler by Catrice. It's the Goodbye Pores, and I love it. See, I'm almost done, and this I think is the second one too that I've gone through. So it has like a light pinky tone, but when you apply it, it doesn't show up. So even for dark skin like myself, you don't have to worry about it, kind of having any shadow. No, what is the word I'm looking for? Cast, white, like a white cast or pink cast. You don't have to worry about that. So I just put it on the areas where my pores are enlarged, and then I just kind of press it in. And then that's it. It feels very silky, very silicone-y. So, I mean, I happen to like that. I know it's not for everyone, but it does do the job really, really well. And it has a slight scent, but nothing crazy. Now, a foundation that I think has been out for a while, but I just discovered it recently, is this one from Covergirl. It's a Covergirl plus Olay Simply Ageless. So this is geared towards mature skin, which is awesome. So this one is, let's see, has hyaluronic complex and vitamin C and 3-in-1 foundation, and I have the shade 257 Golden Tan, and it's like this. It has a pump, so we're just gonna put some in the back of my hand. This shade is a little light on me, but we're just gonna make it work. I have my dampened sponge. This is from L'Oreal, I believe. L'Oreal, and what I do is I take a tissue and I squeeze it just to get the excess water out, and that will kind of help you add more coverage. It makes it so the sponge doesn't soak up so much product when you're using liquid products like this. So let's just go ahead and put this on. I go very light on foundation. That's just my preference. I feel like heavy coverage or too much foundation makes me look older. So it may look like to you on screen like I'm not putting enough, but there's a reason. There's a reason for that. Okay. And no, I will not apologize for my gray hairs today. I apologize every single time. I'm getting it done finally tomorrow, I hope. This foundation has a scent to it. I think it's pleasant, but then again, like, I don't mind products with scent in them. I know some people do. This one is not too strong. It's not overpowering. It's like, to me, it's pleasant. It's like a little, maybe a little florally. So I'm gonna add just a little bit here to cover or try to cover the dark spots a little more. But even that, I don't like to build up too much, even on the cheeks. Normally, I just let them be. I let them have their day in the spotlight. Can't beat them, embrace them. Is what I say. A product that's newer to me that I have fallen in love with, and I did not expect to, is this product from e.l.f. It is their Flawless Brightening Concealer. I have the shade Medium Tan, and the applicator is the only thing I'm not crazy about, but it's fine. It's like a little brush, and then you push it up and get the product out. And what I do is I only use this in the inner part of my eyes where I have the most darkness, and so just I put a little bit in here. I also go in at this point and put some here so I can kind of try to bring that area out. And because this is brightening, I bring a little bit here as well. And a little bit down the nose and a little bit in the chin. Because I have a small chin, so we want to try to bring that out as well. I'll do the eyes with my finger so you guys can see how easily it blends. And that way we don't lose any product. See how it opens up that area right away? The next product is a concealer that has been out for a while, also from e.l.f. that most people have been raving about it for a long time, and I came in late to this party, but I finally picked it up, finally got a shade that's somewhat close to matching me. It's the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Concealer. I have the shade Medium Beige. It's not a perfect match, but I only use a tiny little bit, and I only apply it sort of like in the outer part. Since I put the brightening one in the inner, this is going to be mostly for just the rest of the eye area. And this product, guys, I didn't understand why everyone was raving about it so much, but it's just like, it's such an easy product to work with. It blends seamlessly. Even though it's full coverage, it doesn't look heavy on the eyes, even on my mature eyes, and that's saying a lot. So immediately I fell in love with it. I have not been able to stop using it since I picked it up. I'm actually gonna pick up a lighter color also so I can mix it. Because once I start, when the winter months, you know, when my skin starts to get a little lighter in the winter months, this color, I can see that color being a little bit too dark. Okay, so now let's go ahead and set the under eyes. And this powder that's coming up next, I have been loving for years, a very long time, and I've raved about it on my channel a ton of times. It's Catrice Baking and Setting Loose Powder. I have two different shades here. I have Cool Beige is the lighter one for under my eyes, and then Warm Beige is the one that's a little bit darker. A color that matches my skin tone a little bit more if I want to set the rest of the face. So I'm gonna go in with this one, the lighter one, and what I love about it is it's got this sifter, so you can, ooh, I was moving them around, sorry. So you can see how the powder just kind of sits there. So I take my sponge and I dip it in, and then I remove the excess. And I do this because this is the only way that I can prevent transfer. If you don't experience that problem, you don't need to use the sponge or even set your under eyes if you don't need to. But I need to do this even though I have dry skin, and if I would ideally not use powder, but this is the only way I can make it work. So this is what they call like semi-baking. And then I just set the areas where I put some concealer. I just kind of go back in with whatever's left in the sponge and just tap those areas to kind of set them as well. And then this is very good for travel also, because you can trust that cover, you know, most loose setting powders, you can't do that. They are just a mess. And so I totally appreciate the packaging on this one. Okay, moving on to bronzer. I typically like to do cream and then set it with a regular bronzer. This one from WetnWild is really nice and creamy. I really like it, but this color, I feel like it's not dark enough for me just yet. But there is one product that I love using as a bronzer, and it's this WetnWild stick foundation, and in the shade Almond. It's just like a beautiful bronzer tone for me, so that's what I use. And for brush, I'm going to use the the e.l.f. This is called the Ultimate Blending, but they have several others. I think that their brushes are great quality, and you can't go wrong with any of the e.l.f. brushes. So I just take the foundation and just kind of draw, and then go in and just kind of tap it. Just tap, and then it kind of blends itself. And then just kind of bring it up a little bit. See what a beautiful tone that is? And it's like seamless. And I bring it across the bridge of the nose to kind of just blend everything together. And whatever's left, I just bring it. I'm just cleaning the brush on my jaw. Now for blush, this is a really popular one that I have loved for a long time. It's from Flower Beauty, and it is their Flower Bomb. This is the shade Cinnamon, and it's their cream blushes. And this is like the most perfect nude. I think that this works across so many different skin tones. It's just like the perfect blush to own, and it works, I feel like, all seasons, not just like, you know, in the winter months or just in the summer months. I just simply love it. And again, just tap it in. You could even blend it with your finger, but I prefer the blush. The brush, not blush, brush. And I also bring that across the bridge of the nose. I honestly forgot how much I love this. I had forgotten about it. It's like the formula is like, it's not glowy, but it's not matte. It's just like the perfect in between. And it just kind of sets itself. It is so beautiful, so beautiful. If you're looking for a good cream blush, highly recommend it. And they have a ton of other shades as well. Okay, so I'm gonna go in now with a powder bronzer and set that. And this is also from Flower Beauty. And this one I only have owned for a few months. I'm trying to take off the sticker, sorry. It's their Heatwave Luminous Bronzer. So It says Luminous, but I find that it's really not that glowy, which I like. I don't like my bronzers to be glowy. I try to minimize the glow in this area in general because of the pores. This is not coming off, guys, so we're gonna have to use it just like that, sorry. So in looking at this, you would think that that's kind of light for me, right? But as you apply it, you'll notice that it really isn't. So for this one, I'm just using this e.l.f. brush. This is meant to be, what is this one called? e.l.f. It's meant to be a highlighter brush, but I like to use it for bronzer because it's small enough that I have more control of where I apply it. And I just like to keep it just in this area, just a little bit. Do the same on the other side. And this will basically set both the blush and the bronzer. Now, if you're wanting a powder blush, I recommend this one from Catrice. This line of blushes is incredibly gorgeous. This is like a nude, just very much like the Flower Bomb nude that's very flattering to pretty much every skin tone. This one is beautiful as well. I have this one in like they have a really light peach one that's beautiful for the summer, but I feel like my skin is doing well without it, so we'll just put that aside. I did want to mention it. Another powder bronzer that I recommend if you're looking for a glowy, beautiful bronzy bronzer, this one from Wet n Wild. Oh my God, guys, this thing, I just wish the packaging was a little better. It broke almost right away, but this one, it's what Shady Beaches. That is the shade. And this shade, oh my God. And this one also, it's not just for darker skin tones. This one applied lightly, a lighter complexion, lighter skin tone is beautiful, beautiful. If you haven't tried this formula, I mean, and it's so affordable. I promise you, you would not be disappointed. That is a beautiful, beautiful bronzer. I use that one mostly in the summertime because it is so glowy and it carries a punch, you know, and the pigment is definitely there on that one. Okay, a highlighter that has been very popular, so I won't spend too much time on it, for a very long time is this one from Essence, is the Pure Nude. This shade is Sunlighter, so I think this is the darkest one that they have. They have, I tried picking up the original color, but it was too light for me. This is the shade on the Sunlighter, and it's very bronzy. And this one, I can pretty much only get away with using it around the summertime, or like now when I still have a tan. So I will go in and just apply a little bit. I'm not very big on highlighters nowadays, so I apply just a little bit at the top. Okay, for brows, I have several options for you. I love all of these, but I think it's just a personal choice, like what type of product you prefer. NYX glue. It's called, yeah, just like that, the brow glue. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but you may not be able to get your hands on this. I know that they were sold out for a while, but this is basically just what it says, a glue, and it's a clear, and you apply it on your brows and it just holds them in place. So you can do this either before or you can do it after. Now, another option that I have found, which is not really for brows, but it's this glue here. I find that it works, it holds it better than this one. So what I usually do is just pull a little bit in the back of my hand, take a little brush like this. This one is from Joah, this is the Drugstore also, and then just take it from there and then just apply it that way. But I won't do that now because I want to show you another product that performs similarly. And it's this product here from e.l.f. I don't know that it has an actual name. Yeah, it doesn't have a name. It just says clear, but it's basically a pen pulls up and it's just wax. And just the same way, you can go in with it before, or you can go in with it after you color it in. Or when I am short on time and I'm running out the door, I just put this on, comb it through, and I just leave it. But if you're looking for a good brow pencil from the drugstore, I recommend the LA Girl Slim Jim, I think it's called. Shady Slim. That one is really good, which is the one I'm holding here, sorry. The other one is from L'Oreal. Theirs is really good as well. But the one from LA Girl is more affordable. And the one I have here is in the shade Brunette. And so I'm just gonna color it in a little bit. This one is very, very similar, if not exactly, just like the Anastasia one, the Anastasia Brow Wiz. Another product that's really good, it's also from e.l.f. and it's the e.l.f. Brow Wow. Wow Brow. e.l.f. Wow Brow. I actually had tried to pick up the clear one, but picked up this one by mistake. This is Brunette. I typically don't prefer the ones with color just because they tend to not be very precise, and then you can end up drawing outside onto the skin, outside of the brow. So I typically don't prefer those, but this is a really good product though, if that's the type of product that you prefer. Here it is. It's a tiny doe foot. Is it doe foot? No, applicator. It's a small applicator. I'll just put a little bit just to show you guys. And this is also good for days that you just want to apply something and be out the door. Almost forgot to mention also that for the brows, you can get a soap like this that you can get from the dollar store. And then use this to set your brows. So you can just kind of put some water in it or setting spray, just spritz some on, and then you take the spoolie and then you just kind of scratch it off like that. You just twirl it around, and this actually works really, really well to hold your brows in place. Like I said, it's just a matter of preference, but like all of these are good. This one definitely, like for days where you need your brows to really not budge, this is the most inexpensive, and I find that it works so well. A lot of makeup artists use that instead of other products. So if you didn't know, now you know. Moving on to the eyes. Again, e.l.f. I promise you this is not sponsored by e.l.f. or anything, but this eyeshadow primer I've owned for a while and I love it. And of course, it's super affordable and I just love the way it works. It goes on so smoothly. You can blend it with your fingers. Again, it's like a universal shade also. It looks a little light on me, but that is actually what I want because I want the colors to pop. And in order for the colors to pop, you need to apply a lighter base. In the summer, it does look lighter on me, but once I set it, I can always just use like a powder that's a little darker if I want to kind of make it more like my skin tone. So I'm gonna go in with this powder that I love because I think it's geared towards mature skin, and it's from Physicians Formula. It is called, I wish I could read without my glasses. Seriously, this is such a headache. It's called Coverton 10 Wrinkle Formula Face Powder. Translucent Medium is the shade I have. And I love it. I have made a dent on it already. I use it so much. And I love using this one to set the eyelid because it's such a light formula and the color is just so beautiful. I also use it to set my under eyes. On days that I'm wearing like maybe no mascara or whatever and I don't have to worry about transfer, I'll use this under here, and it is beautiful under the eyes. It doesn't make your eyes look dry or cakey or anything. So for mature skin, this one, highly recommend it. And so for eyeshadow palette, the first one is from Flower Beauty and it's called Suns Ablazing. Beautiful, beautiful. The shimmers on this one, this yellow is like to die for in the summer. I don't use it enough, but I do love it. And then this one from WetnWild, I couldn't find the name of it, but I will list it in the description box when I do. But this one has these beautiful shimmers as well. And it's also very summer look, but we're gonna use this one today, and we're gonna try to use this red here because that kind of gives like a fall type vibe. I think the WetnWild eyeshadow formula is known. A lot of people love it, and with reason, because the quality, you just could never tell that you're not paying a lot of money when looking at the formula. Since we don't have a color here that's sort of like similar to my skin tone, what I'm gonna do is grab just the bronzer that I used, and I'm just gonna throw it on the crease. So I'm gonna go back to the one from Flower Beauty and just use any blending brush that you have and kind of go above my crease so I can have that color kind of peek through. I mean, it's always a good idea to use your bronzer as a transition because it kind of helps tie in the whole face, you know, from the cheeks to the eyes. I sometimes throw it in even when I have a tone that I could use on a given palette. But also, obviously it depends if you're using a shimmer bronzer, you know, that has a lot of shimmer. Obviously that wouldn't be such a great idea to be placing it all the way up here, but a lot of times it doesn't show that much anyway. And then I usually just angle going down, sort of like to lift this up a little bit. Just add a little more on this one and angle down. Okay, so we're done with the bronzer. Oh, I meant to use my new set of brushes that I got from Almond. This is like from their second set. So this is Ojitos number 2. Ojitos, which means eyes. These are great. I have the first set, which is like this green one that you see me always use. Okay, we're gonna go in with the dark red here. And this brush is interesting. It's like a flat, but it's blending at the same time, which is perfect to kind of go in here on the crease. I'm going to show you a swatch of the three shimmers. Here's that first one. I'm trying to decide which one to put. Here's that yellow one. And then here's the third one, this one. So those 3. And then what I do is I kind of take a look and then decide what I'm going to place where. So with a flat shader brush, I'm gonna put this one all over the lid. And then I usually come in with a clean finger, which I don't have, and then kind of just tap the middle so they blend. Okay, and at this point then I move on to eyeliner. I like to tight line the top and the outer part of the bottom. Now if you struggle with tight lining, I think using big pencils makes it easier. I like these from NYX. They're just jumbo eye pencils. This is how I learned to tightline. I only used to be able to do it with these, but let's use this black one. So the way I do it is I look up, place it in the corner, and then try to look away. Try to look away from the pencil. Because as long as you don't see it coming, your eyes won't want to blink. So that is just basically the trick. Even if you were using a regular pencil, just place it and then try to look away. Same thing here, look up, place it and look away. And with a big pencil, it's so easy because it just it holds itself. And for the bottom, then I just look up, place it, and here it doesn't bother me. I don't have to look away. I just make sure that I am looking down to really kind of open up that space. It gives you access to the eye when you do that. Okay, and that's it for liner. It's that simple. I usually draw in the center just to kind of give the eye a little bit more definition to hold the mascara. It makes them look fuller. This is a good pencil that I also enjoy using. This one is from NYX, and this is a gray one. It's just a retractable one. These, on the other hand, were not retractable, just so you know. And so what I usually do, we can use this color, it doesn't matter. I just go in the center, and instead of going at this angle towards the eye, what I do is I lay the pencil. I take the tip out long enough, make it nice and bring it out, and then you kind of hold it like this instead of like this. And this way it makes it so much easier to draw a line. And you just kind of lay it on top of your eye like that. And then you just lightly go and tap. And before you know it, you have a line together. This way it's like almost impossible to mess it up. And obviously most people just, you know, you can use the same hand, same thing. I just happen to be ambidextrous, so it's easier to access that way for me. Even though at heart, I'm a lefty. Okay, so at this point I go in and set the face. And this one from LA Girl is so affordable and it's so nice. It's such a refreshing, it gives a nice boost of like hydration. And it's LA Girl Primer Spray Prep and Hydrate Face for Makeup. And the mister is also, there's a mister. It's also pretty nice and thin, which is what I like. And has a really nice, pleasant, like clean scent. I love it. And then I pull out my little dollar store fan, thank you very much. And I just dry it a little bit. And then before it's all completely dry, if you've watched any of my videos, you're probably screaming, yes, we know, Nancy, we know what comes next. You curl your lashes while they're a little wet so they curl more. We've heard it before. Yes, I'm glad you know. Look at the difference that curling your lashes can make. This is just me just from curling it. Okay, mascaras. Again, if you have seen any of my videos, you know that I am huge fan of the Essence mascaras. They have so many. So it's like there's one for everyone. Another good one is this Sky High from Maybelline, but I'm almost done with this one. These tend to give more volume. This one does a good job at like separating and lengthening. It just depends what you're looking for, right? If it's like in the daytime and I want some like light makeup, I usually go for this one. If I want more of an intense look, like for a evening look, then I go for one of these. But it doesn't, I mean, it's just what your preference. But these are the ones like I recommend, and these are so affordable. These are like $5 or under. So for today, we're just gonna use this one. This one is called False Lash Effect. This is just one coat, and I don't need more. I don't need more. See how full they look? But it's curling them that helps. I'm just gonna dry them a little more so that there's no smudging. Okay, and for lips, this lip liner, this is my second one. That's how much I love it. This is from Joah, and it's just retractable, and the color is just called Nude. I love, love, love it. The formula stays on. Easy to apply. Another lip product that I have not been able to put down, and you'll see, this shows how much. I'm almost finished with it. And it's also called Nude, and it's from LA Girl. And guys, the packaging feels luxurious. Listen, it has that, like the magnet. And this is LA Girl. This is a couple of dollars. And not just the packaging, but this feels like a high-end lip product. And it's the most beautiful nude and comfortable. I just love it. I have to get a backup because I know that I'll be finishing this. And if you're looking for a great lip gloss formula, the Lifter Gloss from Maybelline are amazing. So comfortable, so shiny. And this shade I have is Amber. And it's like a peachy, has a beautiful scent. It's so delicious, makes me want to eat it. Usually I just put a little bit in the center, and that's all you need. But I am like in love with it. This reminds me of the Fenty gloss bomb. Yeah, this I grab this one more than that one. Well, at least this shade, I like this shade better, but also the formula. It's cushiony, it's so comfy. I love it. Okay, I think that's it. How do you guys like it? I like how it turned out. I really do. Looks really, really nice. A little bit spring summery, but that's okay. It's okay. The leaves actually are turning this color now, so we're good. If you enjoy watching these types of videos, I will link the playlist so you can binge on them. I also have a playlist for skincare. If you're into skincare, I will also link that one up at the cards and in the description box. And that's it for me today. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please let me know down below. And also, which was your favorite product from everything that I've used today? Please let me know. I would love to hear from you. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you on the next one very soon. Take care. Bye.